Welcome to the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. We're coming to you from lovely Studio 2 today in this dim, almost Halloweenish day. And this year we are, episode 9, season 3, for those of you that are keeping track. This year we're bringing you The World in a Can. And this week we are taking you from the frozen north of Ontario, which was last week's can. That's probably not quite frozen there, but it will be soon, to the south of Africa. But first, we have our wine nerd word of the week, harmonious. Harmonious is a descriptor of wines that are well balanced and express themselves in a graceful manner. Well, that's lots to look forward to. Now, our can of the week is the 2023 Lubanzi Chenin Blanc, a 355 milliliter can, 12.5% alcohol, 1.5 grams of residual sugar, which is very low. And it's in the always stylish, I call it the geographical can, because it has sort of a geographical motif on it. It shows South Africa and then also North America on it, which is the other part of the equation here. So now the winemaker is, it's directed by Charles Brain and Trizane Barnard, and a group of winemakers and wine growers and grape growers in South Africa. So those two, Charles and Trizane, have brought it together for us. And it comes from Swartland, which is near Cape Town, and it said that it's grown in the site of Table Mountain. So I think it's north of Cape Town. Now, the origin of this wine, you would think that it was from the International Canned Wine Competition. However, not this vintage. This wine was a gift from a fellow wine lover, and it came from Best Wine Purveyors in Pleasantville, New York. It has a little, those of you watching these things, it has a little sticker on that, so much appreciated to Meg, who gave that to me. Always a treat to get a can of wine and to have somebody that's interested in it. Now, this is vegan, fair trade certified, climate neutral, 1% for the planet. 50% of the profits are shared with the growers and makers, so they cover all the bases on that. Now, where it comes from, they're 20-year-old dry-farmed Chenin vines planted in decomposed granite and shale, so basically gravel, hand-picked the grapes, and they're fermented spontaneously with natural yeasts, and they have at least 6 months lees contact. So that's what makes this wine special as far as how it's made. Now the 2024 Chenin Blanc was in fact a gold medal winner in the white wine category in the International Canned Wine Competition out in Mendocino County, California. So I don't know if I've had this. I've had other Lubanzi wines before, and they're competent winemakers. I'll give them that much. So without any further ado, let's do what we've done since the beginning. Open this can of wine and see what it tastes like. What do we have? It's a very pale color. They say you may smell peaches, wet chalk. I do smell lemon. Yeah, definitely a kind of a peaches taste. Very dry, very crisp, if you will. And that's a very pale color. What else can we say? Well, pairing. Some people would recommend this, and I would too, with a seafood, lobster, fish, or a really nice charcuterie with some nice light cheeses, salad. It's definitely acidy and has a very vibrant flavor, I would say. Our shout out today goes to Meg. Thank you so much for thinking of us and getting this a great tasting wine. I do have your Charles Krug that I'm saving for an appropriate meal. So, and it didn't come in a can, but is much appreciated. And to our Spotify followers, if you want to see this wine poured, come and join us over at the Canned Wine Podcast at youtube.com, and you can see the whole thing. Now, for our head scratcher, last week's answer was 1854, when they started growing wine grapes on Point Pelee. Today we ask you, what mountain can be seen from the growing fields where they grow the grapes that make this excellent wine? And in closing, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. It's always just about one person opening a can of wine and discussing it, how it's made, what it's like. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Don't get me wrong, we enjoy our guests, but today is it's solo, as it was in the beginning and as it is today and as it will be in the future. So remember to enjoy responsibly, and just because it comes in a can doesn't mean you can drink and drive. Always be very responsible. The Canned Wine Podcast is a Center Stage production, all rights reserved.